So as the players are coming out on the ice, we get set here for the St. Ignace Saints for the first time this season as we get an MIHL North and South battle. So for the forwards that I did see on the ice today for the St. Ignace, Nick Sprague, Cody Rickley, Tyler Christensen, Matt Cagarise, Adam Capezawat, Bryson Pine, Michael Naveau, Brent DeFore, and Ethan Esposito. Again, I'm probably missing a couple. I only have two defensemen circled here between Dustin Brown and Mike Romano. So we'll pick those out as we go along. Daniel Rouliard should be the goaltender of record today for St. Ignace. And for the Sharks, I do see Ian Morton in the goal crease right now with Jacob Gilliam also today. So Rogalon got the shutout yesterday, only had to make about 12 saves, and that turned into nothing win against the Sheboygan Wendigo. This is going to be a completely different matchup, as we said in the open, and we'll end up seeing what we get. Break down some more of that as well, but St. Ignace started the season 3-0. They're now 3-2. The back-to-back losses of the 45ers, 3-1, and the Voyagers, 9-3 last time out. So when you make that travel over there from the north to the south, the divisions in the first time, we'll see what we get. St. Ignace, again, with a great start to the year. We know this is going to be a much more difficult matchup for the Sharks coming into today. But you got to keep that energy level up. Go from 70 back to 100. We'll get in the anthems and we'll get in the puck drop.
Welcome to Lakeland Ice Rink, home of the Waterford Sharks. Tonight's contest is against the visiting St. Ignace Saints. For the lineups, for the Saints, number 13, Tyler Christensen. Number 21, Riley Vanderhoven. Number 24, Bryson Pine. Number 12, Carson Muglia. Number 65, Justice Mancuso. And in net, number 30, Daniel Rouliard. And now for your Waterford Sharks, number 63, Alex Gregorich. Number 15, Josh Hill. Number 3, Aaron Shaheen. Number 71, Spencer Hogan. Number 6, Theo Goody. And in net, number 34, Ian Morton. May you all please rise and move your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
So proudly we had the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets
So I'm looking forward to this game, and I'm going to say this honestly. When I was looking at the roster sheets and going across for the warm-up here, I say, who is number 3 for the Waterford Sharks? Because it's been a couple seasons. Welcome back, Mr. Aaron Shaheen, into the lineup. So it's going to be good to see some firepower there on the Sharks. Again, we talked about some of the guys that might have moved from the lineup. You got Alex Gregorich back today. You got Josh Hill. You added Shaheen. You have your... whether you go from B+ to A+, you know you're going to need a little bit of a step up in competition today back in that lineup. And this should be a lot of fun to watch today because in between the North and South, you really only get one look on the home game side. So this will be really my only look I'm going to get all year of the St. Ignace Saints. Their jerseys are definitely one of top-notch and their benches into it. So let's get into it now. So the Sharks back with their boomer patch and their home black in the mix of the orange and white as Gregorich's shot goes just wide of the left post and big hip check opportunity. And now the Saints, again, we mentioned they've lost back-to-back games coming off of a loss to the 45ers and the Voyagers. They're going to be hungry to try to get 2 points here today. So, again, as we mentioned before yesterday, it's going to be a much different-looking game with a lot more pace. Again, you had essentially the other day, you couldn't complete a forward pass on the other side, and you couldn't staple things together. Opportunity now, Goody looking for a breakout pass for Josh Hill. Bounces off the stick of Rouliard. Centered out for Grego. He gets wiped out in front of Brayson Pine. Good step up there. And now the Saints got Christensen on the off wing looking to crisscross. And that was stick dragged from Cody Rickley. Chance at the point now. Schmidagel gets his shot deflected up and on a play. So already inside of a minute, it's a breath of fresh air to see the pace that we're going to get between these two teams at least early. So as we said, much different product on the ice, and we'll see what that translates to after the first 20. We'll try to give you some updates around the league as well. Last I checked is Romano off the slap pass in front. Good save there for Morton. So hold on. But the last one I checked when I saw the early score, again, we got the late game at 2:30. But the Voyagers, I think, were already up 14-0 in the first against the Warhawks. Defensive zone face-off loss for the Sharks. Try to get battled there for Kieran Carlisle. Got a little bit of different sight lines today as Polosha will race across. Feed now Carlisle trying to pick it up off the bank. He gets cut off right at the D point. And then a couple of chances here will get deflected. Prober's the last man back. It's a 3-on-1. Here's the sauce. Morton with a glove save. The speed here early for the Saints is something that to keep your eyes open. Now here's a 2-on-2. Here's a drop. Leave the Polosha on his backhand. Floats it. Bounces off the post. They're going to say no. As this will go back now to Chris Seeley. Again, I can mark number 24 here. So he's playing in back-to-back games. First time this season. Big hit attempt, and only caught the netting as Jarrett Pfeiffer now tries to get around the bowling pins. Here's a drop for Alex Sharp. Work his way toward the net. Fought off by Rouliard with the left pad. Seeley, D to D now. Rister, this one blocked out in front. And he flipped back down to the Sharks. And off the spin and turn, George Holt, the player coach, going to draw in the lineup today. Two players collide for the Sharks. It's going to leave some open space. Chance of point, glove save. Morton from a Rickley ripper just inside the blue line. Zach Mulkowski going to take this draw against Matt Cagarise. It'll be brushed back into the corner for the Sharks. I'm going to try to go right to left. Mulkowski got McComas with him. Zach toward the left side dot. Here's a feed that gets deflected. Nice keep in by Seeley, but again, be an opportunity off the rush. And toward the left side dot. Good cancel off for the Sharks. Very physical here early. Try to win a puck battle. There's a vulcanized rubber that's spinning. Picked up by McComas. Leave the sauce for Mulkowski. Goes off the outside of the cage. Sharks step up at the point. Good save, Rouliard with the left pad. He settled back down for Theo Goody on his back skate. Sharks in the middle of a change. Halgamo will just leave it into the corner and safely gain that red line. St. Ignace Saints in the road whites in the mix of the gold and black. A little bit of OU colors is always kind of like that as Theo Goody takes a ride in across the bumper. Flip back toward the left side dot. Josh Hill comes together. That's a little bit of where my blind spot is between both as we get a whistle at 16:22. So the right side corner, we'll just flip it on the other end from where I was the other day. It was a little bit crowded over there. Grego might be taking this draw, and if he does so, it's that overhand, that forehand that he spins back usually. It's his favorite move to go to, but you got to think the scouting report will be on for that. Went off the drop pass. Halgamo tried to get a puck retrieval, and Grego finishes a big hit. As here is Christensen with a move, try to take it short side, bounces up in the air, stays in play. Pine will throw this one down deep. Christensen spin and leave as Justus Mancuso on the defensive side picks it up now. I really like the look of the St. Ignace team. It's a shame now you only get a chance to see them once, but playoffs, I guess, if you get in the finals between the North and South, because they look pretty good. Vanderhoven, his pass will get deflected right across center ice. Grego is spun across the blue line. I think they're off, though, just by half a stride. Looks like I can also circle number 14, Jeremy Pallett-Bailing, on the sheet as well for St. Ignace. Again, everybody able to make that trip over is what you'd like to see. A little bit of a fan there for Christopher Martin, as this will be picked back up across the neutral zone. Sharks then immediately steal. Kieran Carlisle off the lead, little blown tire as Polosha tried to get a stick on it. Carlisle back to his feet. Again, between 16 and the 61 inverse, when they're doing damage, you look good, but Carlisle's had to spin through a Black Friday Mall phone booth. Here's Polosha, little inside out. Shovel in the left side corner for Carlisle. Give and go. Chance of the net, bounced up in the air. This is with the Sharks. Good stop for Rouliard there. Sharks with possession. Jake Prober throws it in the corner. Turnaround chance gets deflected. Jake's got to get back on his horse here, and he'll do so. You got Christopher Martin with him back on D side. Long outstretched pass, and this will get picked off. Dustin Brown. Let's settle it back. It makes you think of the former LA King when you hear that name. Multiple Stanley Cup champ with Anze Kopitar and all those guys that are still doing it. Drew Doughty included, and Jonathan Quick, I believe, is still a member of the Blue Shirts. 14:26 of the first. I'm going to have to get back on my NHL streams now they got everything settled down after this doubleheader and get caught back up with Mr. Cooper Hopkins and Alec Nava. We will get a face-off at center ice. And then we're going to move it over into the St. Ignace end. When we get closer to the end of the third period, I do have birthday shout-outs I have to catch up to as well. We'll do those very quickly. So Joel Skolin, first time I see him back after the 8 penalty minutes in the fight, had a goal and an assist in that game as well. Again, nothing went right for Sheboygan as this is tipped up in the air from a Seeley chance. And this pass will be reconnected nicely. Nick Gordon, and off the rush, and he gets hit hard. Pops back up to his feet though. Gordon still trying to win some battles. A little bit of a warrior there as this is pushed back in behind the net. Again, nothing is still your score here. This will be a turnaround pickup for Jarrett Pfeiffer. He's by himself right now. Toe drag to the middle of the ice, works his right side dot, and then shoots it high above the glass. Theo Goody had a hat trick in that first period against Sheboygan. Able to skate through the D. Goody off the drop pass now for Pfeiffer. This one gets blocked. See if the Sharks get to it first, and they will. A couple finishes of a hit as this is shoveled in the corner. Skolin try to leave it. Bounced up in the air off the flip. We could get a tripping call, but no, says the referee. As big hit again. Little reverse action there for St. Ignace. 13:10 left to go in the first. I feel like I've had a full workout here inside 7 minutes. And 20 goals on the other end the other day. Rister Morton cancels it off with a stick. A hit him up high. Outstretched pass for Pfeiffer. Too long off the blade. as Spencer Bowman turns and looks like Mulkowski gets the steal. Everybody got to check back up on side. Mulkowski does it himself. Helgamo wrister. This one blocked. He is all tied up there with Brayson Pine as it's put into the corner. Helgamo now with a reach. He finishes a heavy hit. Try to give it back as good as they get on the other end. It's sent toward Rouliard. St. Ignace going for the long flip. Couldn't get much on that as the play's blown dead. Mulkowski gets set to take this draw, wins it straight back. Sharks got possession. Prober's shot is blocked. But in the corner where McComas gets the retrieval. Christensen finishes his hit. Sent dangerously toward the net. The Sharks were trying to find it for a moment. Christensen got some burners here, number 13. I noticed that immediately. The Sharks have iced it against themselves, so they cannot change. About 2:45 Eastern time. Almost 8 minutes have expired in the first. John Hunter with you. The live call, the Go Live Sportscast in the Red Rink. This is game 2 of a 5-game homestand off a weekend back-to-back. The first in the league for everyone. McComas trying to find it toward the right side red line. He's going to need some help. Prober trying to help get it loose. Justice Mancuso waiting on the back end line. This is kept in. Christensen. Ooh, that was a pass that could not be corralled for a moment. Otherwise, Ian Morton would have been in danger of conceding. Punched off the glass, but not out. Chance right at the point that hurt off a block shot. Mancuso can walk in. Another block. Sharks got to turn it up here. Cole Helgamo senses it. On the left wing side, here's the lead. Scores! Excellent work for Helgamo to keep it going, and he gets the helper at 11:26. So that was as high as the voice register ever had to get. Never got close to that in the game last night, but how could you? You're going to brace yourself for 20 goals. You got to have one that means much more to every sense of urgency here between Waterford and St. Ignace. You know it's going to mean more. So Helgamo with an apple. We'll see who the recipient of the finish is, that's for sure. Zach's going to give us those announcements as it's sent in. Again, Rouliard already had to make a couple of good saves. Sharks doing some excellent work blocking shots. Picked back up now by Grego, and then he finishes his hit. So McComas gets the goal. Hill now trying to finish it, and Grego, as he was working his way, hopefully he didn't mess up his hand, drops the stick. He's gingerly getting himself back to the bench. Maybe Mama Shark will be able to give me some updates, but hopefully Grego's okay as this one's flipped up into the air. Here's Hill. Lets the wrister go. Rouliard's got it in the trapper. So keep your eyes on number 63 and see if you can see any extra shifts. You got the Bowman line coming out there right now as Tyler Groth's squad makes some changes. But I do see Tyler behind the bench today with my 4 eyes, so that is the accurate call out. Kieran going to take this draw. Try to win it between his legs, and off the lead Theo Goody in a pinch. 10:35 left to go on the first. A vicious hit in toward the middle of the slot as it is a sauce pass from Bowman. Not too bad one there. As Kieran Carlisle work his way behind the net. Leave off a back pass one-timer. Goody on a knee shoots high. Try to get the retrieval now. Here's a feed. Oh, what a play! Sharks backdoor one-timer. That's excellent work, and about a minute and a half expired from that last face-off. St. Ignace couldn't get it out of the zone, and the Sharks made no mistake. From the left to right post, they finish off a 1-T, and it's 2-0 here This has been an excellent start to the game for Waterford. Again, it means so much more from what we saw yesterday. You got to take the 2 points however you get it. You get all 4 in this weekend series, you're going to feel pretty good, because I still think you see that push from St. Ignace as we get past the halfway mark of the first. Now in the D end for the Sharks. And the home blacks in the mix of the orange and white stripes with the boomer patch, as this one is tapped out of the air and then flipped up, knocked away Mancuso. Will get a chance to play with the vulcanized rubber. He sends it back.
Assisted by number 16, Kieran Carlisle, by number 6, Theo Goody. Time of the goal.
So Kieran Carlisle and Theo Goody get assist on a Nolan Baldrica one-timer finish. Here's a long wrister. This one saved by Rouliard with the right pad. Another hit. Carlisle stays on his feet. And here's a good pass. Christensen tried to get a blade on it. Picked up for Kieran. Got to be careful here. And off the drop pass, it's Polosha. One-on-one. What's he going to do? Kept to the outside, and Rouliard will get it in the glove. Right at 9:07 of the first, it's a 2-0 lead for Waterford. Excellent pace to this game. We will see if it can be maintained, but I would love it as a broadcaster. Here is the feed for Sharks as they win it there from Scullin and put into the right side boards. Sauce pass opportunity gets partially blocked, but St. Ignace will recollect in their own end. Try to go from left to right, use the glass. Seeley reads it beautifully. Good touch pass for the Sharks. And a hound here for the Saints is Kempezawat has it now. Flipped up into the netting. This actually bounces off the glass before it hits, so we're still live here. This will be flipped back down. Opportunity for the Sharks to start again. St. Ignace got to go quick if they're going to make some line changes here. And this will be flipped for Jared Pfeiffer. Try to get this one from end to end. Mancuso going to take this hit, but he's still going to collect the puck now, try to get his way on a 1-on-3 in the middle of the neutral zone. Can't do it as he'll be chipped in off the glass. One more time for Jared Pfeiffer. Here's a pass recollect for Ethan Esposito, and this will be sent back into behind the end boards. Esposito now will watch and toward the right side, but the Sharks will get it flipped into their own end. George Holt, and off the recollect, nice work. Holt trying to make a toe drag, he'll do so. He gets hip checked on the outside, but this will go in deep. Sharks have it, back them behind their own net. Here's a chance from the point, it'll be held. Zach Molkowski let it go from the left side blue line. I got to give St. Ignace a lot of credit as well. They had all of their roster construction pretty much set up, or it made it easy to print and get everything set up once I get everything going. There's not so many ins and outs. They've played with their primary club, and honestly, they've looked pretty good. As far as an expansion team, it's one of the better ones that I've seen this year. You get a little bit of the drop kick Murphys as this one goes up in the air, but the Chicago Blackhawks goal song. You heard a lot of that when he had Jonathan Tays and Patrick Kane in between. Never 7:38. Another draw after a slap shot got deflected up and out of play. Molkowski will do it one more time. Into the right side boards. Here's another hit as well as St. Ignace trying to get out of their own end. Players collide a little bit, try to get that puck. Good skating through the neutral zone here for St. Ignace. And off the leave, Dustin Brown trying to make it happen. Here's a pass for Esposito, gets knocked out of the air. Theo Goody gets a chance to recollect. See what Theo can do here. Try to get his way to the right side board, still haven't dispossessed him of the puck. Maybe chase it all the way into the corner. And this will go back to Spencer Bowman, the captaincy. Don't believe we're going to see an icing here, so Bowman have to watch out who's behind him with Dustin Brown. Sharks Justin McComas already on the score sheet, number 91, back on the ice as Bowman tried to chase for it, but a good hand-eye out of the air. And this will be a one-on-one. Gets partially fanned on. Morton makes the save. It gets put in the left side red line. There's a brace of a hit. Sharks will just flip it on the other end of the ice. That's where Cole Helgamo is. And he's got it on his blade, does number 2. He's already got an apple in this one as well. Try to leave for Spencer Bowman. Good touch pass from Olkowski. Got McComas in the left side wing. Here's a chance in at the point and a good diving save for Rouliard. Slapper. This will get blocked to the left side corner. Now St. Ignace look for the long flip. This one bounces into the ceiling. First of the year for that. So I know he mentioned alongside the Go Live Sportscast yesterday that they got the full scoreboard and the time that's synced up with the scoreboard here, so I won't have to give as many shout-outs, but out of force of habit, usually for a radio call, you'll probably still hear me do that as we keep along with the action. So Grego is back out there. We do see 63 after taking that hit. He was braced with the hand, dropped his stick, his glove, everything, all that laundry. As Josh Hill, that one's out there as well with Aaron Shaheen. Good to see them play together, and it's good to see another goal go in the back of the net with a 1T. 5:49 left to go in the first. Have to just say it as an innocent bystander working for the Sharks over the last few years. When you get Aaron Shaheen inserted back in the lineup, you have to imagine that goals are going to start to flow. He's a guy that's very well beloved across the MIHL and everywhere that he goes. Again, as we say with the Sharks, they're a family. I always second that with everything else we throw in a story. And we want to see that line get on the score sheet and do well. And they've done so in this game as it's a 3-0 lead. Outstretched pass. Pick up for Josh Hill, making some moves. And this will be a stop at 5:37. Grego going to get set to take this draw near the right side dot. We got Jake Prober with him on the back end alongside Josh Hill, so that line's still getting some more burn. Jake pick up the recollect. So Martin and Hill off the 1T. Again, Christopher Martin's been pretty good this year as well. A lot of the Sharks pickups have already done damage. They have a game in hand, trying to go to 4-1 on the year and pick up a lot of points during this 5-game homestand. Again, because they got Muskegon coming on Saturday. And if the Sharks win this game and they happen to pin a loss to Muskegon next week, they can be in first place in the South. So it will be a battle for first early next week if this result holds. Got tons of time before that. Esposito off the drop, but Grego says, how do you do? I think he's getting some revenge off that last hit. Ethan Esposito's a big boy, though, from what we see. Good set of hands, too, as we get a hand in the air. Might be getting our first call as well for a cross. And that is what the signal is called. Eventually, I should do my due diligence and learn all of those hand signals. Now, Cooper Hopkins would have me beat. Again, I don't want to say his name too much, but I think I will have a treat for all of the Sharks fans next year, I'm hoping at least, along with the blessing of Go Live, try to get 2 headsets on this thing and team up for a duo cast. That's what I'm hoping, if he makes his way up toward the thumb. You're going to have to give me some particulars of what the best thing to do in Michigan is when he comes over here, because he's only visited for watching the Huskies play U of M. So the Sharks have to deal with some power play time. They'll have the cross check, so Gregorich going to get busted for that. He's going to get an interference. So St. Ignace has a power play for the first time. It's a first for either as Vanderhoven takes a hit. And this will be full sail cleared down the ice. Rouliard, we'll see what he wants to do with it. He'll like to make that quick pass to Cody Rickley. Cody's got it now. And St. Ignace will look to get organized here. Again, for Muskegon, they are so good at that when you have Riley Picture on the back end, be able to create some of those chances. As Mancuso be able to send this one in. Bounces away from Vanderhoven. Sharks have something. It's Polosha on his backhand. And he kind of got cut off a little bit there. That was a good back check for the Saints. About 55 seconds of power play time to work for over them. As this will be Kempezawat. He gets it stick to the side and sent back down. Christensen out there. Brayson Pines got it. Brayson, almost a little bit of an overskate. He is able to get across the red line here, but Sharks cancel it off and then beautifully keep it in play as it's flipped back down on the other end. Bouncing off a couple of skate blades. It's off of Mancuso and flipped back down. No icing, says the Zebras as we press on. The Sharks take it 150. Christensen, good move off the backhand. Finds his way off the entry wrister, goes hopelessly wide though. As a couple of stick drags here, Hill beautifully breaks it out. Bowman just onside. Hill sauce out of the air. Good combination play for the captaincy. And this will be sticked for the moment. Sharks go to full strength. Bowman on the left wing. Toe drag, shot this one, hit the glass again. Settle back down too far for Jared Pfeiffer. On the back end, Sharks recollect. They made their D change. It's Theo Goody off the lead for Spencer. Captaincy, great pass here for Theo Goody. Got Jared Pfeiffer with it. He wants it. Goody caught Rouliard sleeping a little bit. He was going for that bottom left post. 2:05 left in the first round. I'm with you on the call. Goody. This is right on the pads of Rouliard. Joel Skolin going to get set to take it again, this time from the left dot. I think it would behoove the Sharks here to try to stay at this 3-0 line. Don't want to give anything to St. Ignace because they look pretty good throughout this first. I know the energy might have dissipated a little bit from the 5 or 6 minute start when everyone was shot out of a cannon. Penalty hand in the air. St. Ignace now going to go to the box, and we're going to see if that's going to get a retaliation later. Alex Sharp got tripped. So the Sharks took one penalty, but Grego getting a little retaliation off the interference. And now this time St. Ignace going to get sent to the sin bin for a trip, and this is a golden opportunity for the Sharks. They would have 5-second carryover power play time in a period numero dos. They score here, though. They're already going to have a lot to feel good about it at the first 20. Just don't concede anything. Theo Goody. Here is a pass across near the right side dot for George Holt as he holds that line. This will be sent for Goody off a severe angle, fought off by Rouliard. Put in the corner now. Here's a good step up here for Nolan Baldrika. Already got one in this game. Holt, slap pass. This will go back to George. Fired through the traffic, right pad save as Rouliard gets the full stretch out there. Holt, calmly, sends it to the left side, dot chance. Rouliard was spinning the wrong way, but that shot got blocked. Holt try to keep it in, he'll do so. And alongside Baldrika. See if they go back to the point here. Kieran Carlisle putting on his dancing shoes. Goes to the right side, dot. Look for a lane. Kieran Carlisle try to send it on in front. Diving pass block, knocks it away. Baldrika, fake the slapper. Near to the right side, Rouliard. This gets blocked. It's loose out in front of another one there. Good play, Christensen. Picked up on the backhand. Spun around, there was Polosha. Good opportunity as this one gets cleared down by Riley Vanderhoven, but it's not out. Goody sends it toward the net. There's a pad block for Rouliard. Sharks all sorts of possession on this power play. Looking good as it's sent back down deep. There's a fan there off a back pass. Sharks do recollect. Get it toward the right side. Spin and turn. That one goes near the outside of the cage. Sharks still have it in behind the net. Excellent work here. Good pass block, Baldrika. This is ridiculous. Sent toward the outside of the cage again. And St. Ignace needs to get it out of their zone. Down to 8. That's to Jake Prober. See if he can just back up here. Theo Goody, that's what he'll like to do so. That ends a very entertaining first period. Sharks have a 3-0 lead. Still 5-second power play carryover time. They come back. We've still got another 20 and another 20 after that. It's 3-0 after 1. It's been fun. Please come back. Got much more to do.
Go Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
Let's go.
you'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency? Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Go Live Sportscast.
Good. Let me give you some official updates here before we get into our second period reset. As far as the MIHL League scores are concerned, the Shadow, a little bit angry after that loss yesterday against the Kalkaska Kings. They're leading 10-2 in the third against the Alpena 45ers. The Kings have a 9-1 lead after 2 over the Warhawks. And the Wendigo, let's say something, and this is not me trying to be Mr. Smart Aleck here. The Wendigo scored a goal. They did not do that yesterday, but they lost 25-1 to the Muskegon Voyagers, so that plus minus is getting closer to triple digits already within 6 games. As it is in our reset, it is 3-0 Waterford. Let me give you my reset here on this Facebook page and break this down. So after the first period, it was very entertaining. Speed noticeable early. Waterford 3-0 lead again. Goals from Tristan McComas, Nolan Baldrica, and Chris Martin. Couple of one-timers mixed in. The one thing I noticed too, besides that speed, was the sublime puck possession in the O zone for Waterford. Not just particularly that power play that they might not score on that has 5 seconds left to go on it, but they were really good in that end, and they've been executing beautifully so far, and intercepting passes and dealing with the speed that Ignace has been able to bring, matching it with their own. Some roster additions have been added from the particular regulars of Alex Gregorich and Josh Hill. But I also want to give a special shout out to number 3, Aaron Shaheen. Good to see him back in Sharks colors after a couple of seasons when he's moved in between the FPHL and all over across the league from different states and all that. Always good to see him back in the black and orange. So that's your reset officially from the second period. Still got much more to do here. Sharks have 5 seconds withstanding from their power play. When we get into the next intermission, I do want to throw a critical question out to the panel. And I know it's just me kind of laying this across. I won't throw the video on social media for Twitter/X, but I do want to talk about it in case you hadn't heard about it, and a suspension in the OHL. And then we also will go across the early NHL scoreboard. There was a time last night when the Red Wings had a 4-1 lead over the Sabres. They lost 5-4 in overtime. If the Sabres ever want to get back into the postseason, all they got to do is play against the Detroit Red Wings when they get in there. They'd win a series, because when you're going outside the Zetterberg-Datsuk life, it seems like the Sabres kind of dominate that matchup, and it's not really fun to see if you're a Wings fan. So we talked about the more impactful goals that we were going to be able to see. Again, just 3 to tell you about. It was already a 14 spot yesterday at this point in time. And then you had the 3 burgers that were added in the second and third for the final 20. But the differential that Muskegon just gave to Sheboygan, we gave that reset before this puck drop, was even worse. But at least the Wendigo scored. So here is an opportunity off center ice. Christensen wins the draw, but this goes to the Sharks. Now a turnaround chance for Olkowski, and this will be held by Rouliard. So St. Ignace full strength. Again, that was only 5-second carryover time. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. I'll mark that in my sheet as well. Again, Grego was a little bit irritated on that interference call after he got hurt, dropped his stick, his gloves, and everything. He went to the bench to get everything checked on. He was okay. He was able to make some other shifts, and he will continue to play in this game. But he's been throwing the bowling balls, able to drive him from the M1 United coach, and it's good to see there, because you got to bring that physicality. He brings a lot. This will be a nice patient wait here for the Sharks. A little draw wait. Derek Wills, Calgary Flames. And this will be an opportunity now for McComas off the drive as this gets sent into the corner. That is where Riley Vanderhoven was, but it gets coughed up, and now the Saints might have something off the rush. Vanderhoven is the last guy back, but this pass gets blocked. He sends it toward the net, and this will be held by Mr. Morton. So Schmidtigel on the last end line again. I give St. Ignace in the Wendigo jerseys about a strong score, at least of an 8, 9 out of 10. I don't want to be too particular for the Sharks there, but a lot of these kits all look good for the expansion side. And you got to get it right. If you don't look good, you don't feel good, you don't play good. That's kind of how I always look at it. As Theo Goody and off the step up here for Alex Gregorich, who's got it. He could take it end-to-end if he wants to, but he always makes this calm back pass. Start again here. Pick up for Shaheen, and that was a theft. Nice work there toward the right side boards. Good stick in the lane, though. The Sharks should have pushed it the other way. Schmidtigel is the last line of defense. As it's Goody on his backhand cross and in. Beautiful play. Theo Goody started it, and it was encapsulated with a finish at 18:26. So Goody definitely is going to get an A, as it was finished near the back post. And Zach's going to give us that announcement in a moment. As Mancuso has it. We'll take this one D to D. Again, St. Ignace, despite the scoreline, has not played that bad. They've got to get a rush on the other end here as Carlisle trying to stop it really hard. Gets a piece of it with the glove hand. Kieran's going to get set to take the draw near the right dot. Wins it with the top overhand. Spin and turn. That one goes just wide for Polusha. So Shaheen is going to get that finish from Goody's beautiful setup. Good for Shaheen. He knew he was going to get on the score sheet. Be a flip across here for Christopher Martin, who's already got a goal in this game as well. And now back to Chris, as this will go cross ice feed toward the left side red line. Spin and turn for Jake, the Highland, Michigan native. Gets a chance to pick it up now. I always like to throw that shot out because he's a next door neighbor to me, essentially. Take this one cross ice. Picked up now off the back skate. Sharks will turn around and recollect. They got a 4-0 lead that they've just added to on a beautiful goal from Shaheen and Goody. And toward the right side boards, gets the steal. Polusha, Carlisle, nice drop pass. And this will be blockered in between a few bodies and sent back down. Opportunity one more time for me to look at my sheet, as that was Mancuso. I thought I saw a 35, but I didn't have that there for the Saints. As this will be a nice lift. Pick up ahead for Polusha. Looked like he might be on the edge of a shift. Can still make something happen though, as it's sent in the corner. Pfeiffer now try to get a recollect. Seeley, this one bounces in the air. Kieran will send it back. Good loft pass. That'll work out nicely. It's 1-on-4. Take the long shot anyway. Hit the netting. The one thing the Sharks, you have to give them full marks for in this game. They are connecting pass after pass from zone to zone. They're closing down some of the spaces, even though St. Ignace has been able to play with some speed. They had great attention to detail, and they've had some pretty good finishes. One-timer's the name of the day. Theo and Clapper, this one fought up with a stick of Rouliard to the left side corner. It's going to go back to Goody. He'll do it again. Off the pads, rebound. That one goes wide as Jared Pfeiffer let out an exclamation of disgust as this one gets sent back down. But sometimes you just miss. Jared had a great game yesterday. Probably going to still be able to add to it. He was all over the score sheet. Cross ice feed from Bowman. This will bounce off some sticks. That's where Cody Rickley is. And he's going to try to, ooh, he gets hit nicely. Alex Sharp from OU cleans him out. Sprague throws it in the corner. Sharks. And then pass, that one did not connect. One of the few. But the Sharks will find it in their own end again across the blue line. Here's a battle for it off a stick lift. Good back end support for Jarrett. On his backhand now, will spin. Jarrett doesn't overskate the puck, able to get through now, buy some space nicely for Skoll, and Here's Pfeiffer. He tried a toe drag through the last line of defense. Got canceled off. And this will be rimmed in around the end boards. Jarrett still on the prowl there. It's good to see both the Pfeiffer boys back in the lineup as regulars. Again, we saw the Redmonds in the mix against the Shadow last Friday on the road when Frank had that call. Cole Helgamo on his forehand. Good save. Rouliard. Right in the webbing of the catching glove. Just about 5 minutes have expired in this middle frame. John Under with you on the call. Again, I'm excited for the 5-game homestand. It means you get to, hopefully don't make your ears bleed. We had a chance to work on this a lot, to get some games, try to get some regular work this week as well. D-zone win for St. Ignace. In off the spin and turn, and Kempezawat try to get this out of his own end. Here's a feed across for Tyler Christensen. And if I mistakenly said Cody on the side, I'm just thinking of WWE, I believe it is, although my cousin's more of an expert than that. Be a D-zone draw. Riley Vanderhoven. We'll have to do it again. Vanderhoven against Milkowski for the second time. And are we going to get any sort of penalty here in the NHL? They don't let you do that twice. We're just going to have to take someone and kick them out of the... Kempezawat. This will be off the drop. St. Ignace got control of it. Here for Schmidigal. In the left corner, that's the Bermuda Triangle that's outside of my sight line. But Go Live will pick that up as this will be flipped back down for Mancuso. Start again for Kempezawat. And this one a little bit too far for Vanderhoven as the Sharks bouncing puck. We'll see who gets to it first. Little reach there for Justin McComas, who's got a goal in this game. Be a center for Christensen. Good stick blade, trying to space it here. But he elected to go for a shot. I thought they might try to go for the 2-on-1 cross pass. McComas a little too far for his reach. And here's an opportunity on the backhand. We cancel off one-timer. That's a good save for Morton as it's in the left side corner. Good combination play alongside for Christensen. Chopped up toward the left side of the post. Morton sitting in the butterfly. It's getting busy back there. Helgamo had his hand up looking for the breakout. It's not out of the zone. Esposito lost it for a moment. It's tipped, and it goes into the back of the net here for St. Ignace. That was stick-to-itiveness there for the Saints. That's excellent work to get that goal at 13:36. So it's back to a 3-goal game. The Sharks were up by as many as 4. As long as you don't let that compound, I don't see any issues with that because you knew St. Ignace was going to be able to get on the score sheet. They look pretty good in this game. They get one more, and then we have another hockey game on our hands, so to speak, as far as who can give and take for this. Josh Hill. It's in the right side corner. Esposito lost it for a moment.
Time of the goal. 6:24, second period.
So I didn't see or didn't hear anything, at least from Zach, as far as assists. So it'll be Christensen's goal, number 13. We sent back in from the point. Good save there for Rouliard. You want to get that immediate answer after your team scores a goal. Shaheen on his backhand, he works and shoots. A little windmill move there. He'll buy himself some space. He's looked pretty good, number 3. Get a chance to see him back into the Sharks uniform as it flips in the netting. So you see the Helgamos back on my sight lines as we get a face-off. Grego toward the left side dot. This one will be won by the Saints, who tried to break out. It's in between the skates of Josh Hill. Lead for Shaheen. Excellent work, Aaron. He still got it. A little dive of a shot block. Try to knock it away for the moment. And this is busy and behind the office of Rouliard. And off the back skate, closed off in toward the point. This is picked up here for Grego. On his backhand, he'll cross it. Sharp angle chance, worked them behind the net. And there's some laundry you got to do down on the ice here. 12:29. Nick Gordon was just trying to block some shots. Bryson Pine giving his goaltender some stick taps. I don't blame him. I think Rouliard's been pretty good in this one. He's been the busier of the netminders. Here's a backhand right at the net and then shot wide. That was an opportunity for Nolan Baldrika, but it's not done yet. Polosha hits the glass. Kept in the left side line. There's a spin and turn for Carlisle. He gets pinned. Have to alleviate for the brace. Carlisle makes a play, falling down to his knee, gets the puck out. Spencer Bowman have to cover for the point. There's a big slapper now for Bowman, and this is right in the catching glove of Rouliard. So Kieran's going to take this ozone draw. About 3:32 Eastern time. If we can get everything settled away, we might be able to get around a 5 o'clock Eastern finish, depending on if we need some extras, as this will be settled back down. And then iced appropriately 200 feet the other way. I'm looking for a breakout pass. Bowman and Vanderhoven exchanging some pleasantries. Always like to see some smiles on the other end, because you know both teams want to be able to give and get their best out of each other. Kieran gets to take another draw. Here's a rolling puck. Sharks try to recollect at the net, and this will be flipped out expertly. Bowman going to play some backhand D time, and a beautiful stick lift there for the captaincy. That play is not going to go unnoticed. He could have saved a goal. Theo Goody now. He'll jump up on the play. Cross ice feed, bounces off the stick of Rouliard into the corner. That's where Baldrika is. He tried to leave it, and the Sharks got to get back and situate on their DN side. They got two forwards committed in deep. Christensen wants the puck. He'll get it now and off the clear. Not accustomed to seeing Spencer Bowman play the blue line side, but he's pretty good at it. Able to walk in and get a shot as well. Play that offensive D-man role, but he played beautiful defensive D back there and stopped a one-on-one off a poke check. We're almost halfway through regulation as both teams will make some wholesale line changes. When St. Ignace does post it, I'll put their team staff on my roster sheets. Right now I don't have anything listed for there as far as their coaching staff, but I'd like to add it. You can always reach out to John Ryan on it, anything on the Facebook, Twitter, X. Long shot will be gloved away for Rouliard in the left side corner. And off the leave and spin and turn. Walk and shoot for Martin, and he had a good idea there, but that was saved by Rouliard, who's starting to get a sweat in here, if not already. Just one goal aside in his second period. Shaheen from Goody, and then Christensen unassisted from what Grego had thrown out there. Be flipped back down again, not far enough for icing. Christopher Martin. We'll flip this one from 100 feet. That's where we'll start in the neutral zone as Mancuso. Just throwing it in an empty space in the ice occupied, and Morton comes out to play it to the right side red line. Here's the lead now for Jarrett Pfeiffer. Sent back into the corner again for Martin. Still busy and behind the net for the Sharks. Good breakout pass, though, as St. Ignace was trying to apply some pressure. Got a chance for Sharp and off the rush. Here is a backhand. Sharp trying to pry it loose. It's in now! Excellent work! Rouliard couldn't hold the rebound, and he's going to pay for it. That's right at the halfway marker of this game. We'll see if I have to adjust on my sheet. I'm going to give that one to Alex Sharp unless he didn't put the rebound home. I think he should get at least an apple on it, but it was a good breakout pass anyway. That's what got it all started. Donaldson was patient and behind the net, and he had some help there. Sharks were able to break through that pressure. That's what St. Ignace wanted to do. I think the trap was the right idea. Sharks were just able to score off of it, so that's just great work.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 19, Alex Sharp. Assisted by number 17, Jared Pfeiffer. And number 20, Jake Ober. Time of the goal, 10 minutes
So Prober is going to get the secondary apple. Donaldson start the play. Prober finishes with a breakout pass and alongside for Pfeiffer and Alex Sharp. So that'll make their Alex Sharp's family happy. I met them yesterday before I left the building. We settle back down now for St. Ignace. Again, it's 5-1, a couple of goals for the Sharks in this second. We'll see if this is far enough for icing, and indeed it is. George Holt will win the hybrid race. So, in betwixt the Sharks, the water, the American flag with the stars and stripes, and the Sharks banner, I have to say all those guys that end up putting that together, they've done a great job. Again, I hadn't really mentioned that as a complete shutout other than the banner from the opening night against the Warhawks, but I think it looks really good to have all these games primarily be played in the red rink, because when you had your banner in the blue rink, you didn't get a chance to really see it last year. Cole Algamo, excellent work to avoid the hit on the other end from Ethan Esposito. Ethan's got it now, though, and then immediately gets canceled off the number. Spencer Bowman breaks it up again. Here's McComas. It's just too far off his skate, but he's not giving up on the play. McComas try to feed it out front. The pass gets blocked. The Sharks with it, though. They'll turn and shoot. Helgamo, sharp angle. Rouliard's got that. Here will be Hill in off the tie-up. He's settled back down for Theo Goody. And Spencer Bowman will send that one in. And between 6 and 71 on the backhand side, we know Theo plays it all the time. I really like that combination that Tyler's got out there right now. They got some chemistry together. A little offensive push, but a little defensive prowess as well. Again, Spencer just happy to do whatever he wants. And the mix between the Waterford wheels never missed a game. Chance in behind the net as Grego tried to flip it. And this is off the outside of the cage. And Goody's going to have to chase this one across the red line. 5-1 Sharks lead. Good patient play there for the Sharks. Gain the line and send it in. Now this feels like an actual hockey game, and that's no behest from the 20-0 that talked about yesterday. Just the combination plays, the hits, the attention to detail, the speed cutting off the space, as we wanted to see both of these teams playing hard. Chance at the net as this goes to the right side. I'm not trying to sound like Rasheed Wallace either when I say that. Hit a penalty hand in the air. I think that might be a slash against St. Ignace. We'll stay right here on this side of the ice. Sharks Off the face-off, this will get sent back down. It's their second power play opportunity. St. Ignace has only had one. Again, both of the games in between yesterday, regardless of the amount of goals, were played pretty clean, with the exception of those fights. I don't think we're going to get anything like that in this game. Might speak too soon when I say that, but it doesn't seem to have that tenure. Just both teams really trying to put the puck in the back of the net and skate hard. Opportunity off of the flip there for Holt. Good combination play. Bounces in the netting. That will stop the play at 6:51.
St. Ignace penalty number 65, Mancuso, 2 minutes for slashing. Time of the penalty, 12.
So Mancuso is going to sit in the box as Kieran Carwile will take this draw one more time. George Holt really occupying that stick blade to the left side of the blue line, and just in case it goes deep. Now off the backhand, Theo Goody. As Holt's going to get some power play time. Opportunity toward the right side dot. Carlisle will elect the pass. Sharks trying to look to space it out here. Goody off the leave. Here's Kieran. Really crowding that net as St. Ignace playing in a box. Trying to guard any space in front of Rouillard. Sharks just trying to find a lane, and you better hope you block it on the other end if you're St. Ignace, because if it goes in, that's what can happen. I think the Sharks are celebrating over here. That's what it did. Again, all I could see when Goody shot the puck was the massive humanity. That's kind of what I was alluding to, so it's good to have that right on cue as the Sharks get a power play goal. Now, Rouillard's not going to be able to see anything behind him. If you don't block it, that's going to go in the back of the net. And that's exactly what happened. That's the backfire when you just kind of collapse. So power play goal for the Sharks. They're now 1 for 2. As this is in toward the right side, Nick Gordon able to cancel that off for a moment, but the Sharks threw it right back in. So second power play, that worked out nice, and the Sharks have got 3 in each period so far. Here is a good play for Brown. He gets taken down though as this gets sent in. Not giving up on the play though, St. Ignace is kept it at the point for Mancuso. And off the lift. This is flipped back on in front nicely. Morton's got to hold on to it. He'll do so at 5:40.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 14, Nolan Baldrica, unassisted. Time of the goal, 13:42 of the second period.
So Baldrica has got his second of the game. 1 in each period. D-zone draw. We'll flip the ice here as the Sharks will try to get it out of their own end. Here is Esposito off the drop pass for Brown. Good save, Morton. And the puck is not in. And now it is. Rolling chance. Brown might get a tip on it. I thought the first one was going to go in. But it is 6-2 now. So rebound there. That might be Dustin Brown's goal if he got a stick blade on it. Esposito trying to truck his way right through center ice and off the face-off. Sharks get a whistle. Did they enter off? I think they might have. Didn't think Justin McComas was too far off of keeping his one skate in the air. But the linesman is right on it.
St. Ignace goal scored by number 90, Nick Schroeder. Time of the goal, 14:35 of the second period.
Again, I did not get the score sheet for the game. 90 is Esposito off the original number. If that got changed, my apologies. I will correct that in the story at Hopeless Sports Guy per usual. And off the long flip, here's a breakout, Cole Helgamo. Oh, he hit the post. He had really hard beat, but he hit the top of the frame. This is Cole Helgamo now on the backhand, and Rouliard cancels it off. He has been a busy man in behind the net. Sharks wait and hold. Milkowski. High, that's a tip. Either Milkowski scores or Helgamo gets a piece of it, but that was sailed high. No chance for Rouliard. We'll see if we're going to get Cole Helgamo or Zach Milkowski, but one of them is getting an apple and one of them is getting a G. Schmidigal. This will go straight back across the board. Honestly, I don't get tired of when the Sharks end up playing that. As this is picked up now for Gregorich, kind of reminds me of the big story that we had when John Stonehouse used to cover these games with me when we broadcasting on our own in Muskegon, when they kept playing some of those same sounds over and over, and the Sharks took advantage of it.
Assisted by number 2, Cole Helgamo, and number 6, Dio Goody.
So Goody going to get a secondary
15:36, the second period.
from Milkowski and Cole Helgamo. And that was the Curb Your Enthusiasm stuff that they kept playing against the Sharks every time they scored. And Chad Frost, who's spending his time in the Dell now, kept saying how much he loved that song. And that's a memory that we can forever share. That's part of the reasons why that banner is up here in the red rink a couple of seasons ago. Good steal here for the Sharks. Josh Hill. That one had some severe velocity on it, but missed it all as it hit the glass. So the Sharks are playing this game right now at 3:39 in the second, kind of the way that they would be playing this game against the Muskegon Voyagers. I know the score line is a little bit different, but the intensity, the speed, the matching, you want to have that same kind of severance going into Saturday, the business-like mentality, and that's what I'm seeing here on the ice now. And it's always good to see. Sharks always have that, but again, regardless of what they throw out there, they stick to their game plan. You get Tyler Groth some more games in behind that bench to coach and get these guys' lines settled up. We'll see what happens with Matt Berger late in the year as well, if he's going to come back and add to this coaching staff and alongside M1 United. I'm hopeful to try to make that journey back to Muskegon in the postseason, because I do have a lot of respect for that team up and down across the board, and I know the Sharks do too. It's one of those ones I always promote as a can't miss, and we got that Saturday at 5:30 next week. Just a single game next week before the back-to-back against the Shadow and the Warhawks Friday and Saturday the week after. We'll set those times and particulars before this game ends. Here's a spin and turn now for Kieran Carlisle. And he's going to try to leave for Polusha. He got stick lifted. They're going to say no icing as Ian Morton will go back and play it. So Roca Long got the shutout yesterday against Sheboygan when he won that 20-0 game, made 12 saves in the win. And now Ian Morton gets a chance to get a stop there as he gets a chance to get a start in the goal crease. So I like that rotation there for the Sharks to see what you have. This is a good chance off the rush now for St. Ignace. Good stick save. They canceled off by Morton and a flip. Here's a drop for Polusha. Carlisle, Polusha near the back post. Here's the pass. Try to finish it in between that hands. Hit a double clutch there to Polusha. Now he's open to the back door for a 1-T. They settle back here for Chris Martin. Here's the shot through traffic. Polusha gets a blade on it and gets it back. A little bit too far for Martin. Jake Prober. One more time for him. 2:15 left to go in this middle frame. Good combination pass ball. Draka gets the drop for Kieran, and he sails it high. Kieran Carlisle can do a lot of things, but when he's at his best, number 16, he is the setup man. Normally for the inverse for 61, but I love his hands, playmaking ability to work to extend plays off the backhand and get his guys open. a playmaker in every sense of the word. George Holt and off the tie-up. Spencer Bowman got turned around, and this will go deep into the end for the Saints, who are just trying to get it out here for Cody Rickley. Here's a chance. Here and off the rush, it's Brown. This one, it's the glass, goes in behind of Morton, stays in play. George Holt. And off the rush now, Jared Pfeiffer with a stick chop. Haven't called his name that much of late. Good save for Morton near the left post, and the butterfly now cancels it off. Schmidigal fans. And this is picked up now for Brown and thrown down deep. One more touch pass will be feathered down the ice, and the Sharks have iced it against themselves here with 1:22. Had a busy night last night after this game was done. I had to get a lot of other stuff done and then get prepped for this game. I feel like I should be a lot more tired than I actually am, but maybe it's adrenaline. Probably end up crashing out toward the 10 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock, so I would be a lot earlier for me, more so than the 4 or 5 as the night owl that I usually am, as this will be sent back in for Schmidigal and off the touch pass. Nick Gordon has it for a moment. Spencer Bowman, little pass ahead for Holt. Good feather there, sharp. It's at the net. There is a massive humanity there, but it looks like Rouliard able to make that save. St. Ignace in danger here. I know we still got another 20 minutes, but they started the season 3-0. You don't want to drop 3 straight games after that. I understand the Sharks are a good team, but you got to be able to get a little more of a pushback in this third. Again, they've not played a terrible game by any stretch of the imagination. I think the Sharks have been really at their best on this early Sunday. McComas, as he's able to hand-eye this one back down the ice. That's where Cole is. He'll reach out with the big paw, one-handed, and we're down to the final 30 of the middle frame. Good touch pass from Zach. Not only for McComas, Seeley can walk in and shoot. He had a rare chance he was able to do what he wanted for normally the defensive defenseman. He's pinched at the net now. Good backline support for Holt. Sharks do get the steal. George just a little bit out of the zone, and that should end the second frame. As it's picked up by McComas one more time for a move. They get it off quickly. Back pass won't hit. After 2, Sharks lead at 7-2. They score 4 times in that second frame. St. Ignace gets a couple, but they're down 5. They come back. We'll talk about the final 20 minutes. I'll give you another league reset, and we'll get you the critical question I want to talk about as well. Sharks lead 7-2. We got another 20. Come right back. We'll talk more.
Go Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb. Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Where's your emergency? Everyone's on their way. What happened? She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. This cannot be real. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Go Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
911, where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
It's been so amazing to be able to give our child the life that we kind of pictured us having, even though we didn't really have that.
I've been in foster care my whole life.
He's so strong to just be able to like leave that all behind and still be able to take care of his daughter and be a good husband.
Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone.
We've been through so much in our life, and he never used that as an excuse, but as motivation to do better.
I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Go Live Sportscast.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Okay, so we'll get settled here for the third period. I had to do some housekeeping in the mix between Go Live and some texts here across. So the Sharks have a 7-2 lead. You got Shaheen Sharp, Aldrika, Mokowski all score, Christensen and Esposito. Again, I'll get the rig correction for number 90 on the roster if it comes across. It's 7-2. Again, I didn't have the official sheet for St. Ignace today. I did have all the other rosters unless they added somebody. But 7-2, pretty good game so far that we see across. I did want to talk about this just very, very briefly, and then I'll give you some other finals. But this was something that I really wanted to just get your thoughts on. So OHL, there was a suspension in one of the dirtiest hits I think that I've ever seen. When you talk about Luka Drezukika and Brady Blasick, so Drezukika gets a slash in on Blasick, And this is between the Brampton Steelheads slashing the Manhattan Ottawa Generals. So you got guys in the OHL in a smaller league. You slash him toward the right side of the face, not even attempting the puck. And as he's bleeding on the ice, again, he's only 18 years old, then gets cross-checked in the back of the head twice. I'm looking at this replay here on the live side for what we talk about in the discussion. No attempt for a hockey play whatsoever. And when you have things like that, where does that draw the line of, yes, you know that there's going to be a suspension, and I know what people say. When the players are younger, they make mistakes, you want to move on, but you could also classify that as an assault, something that's not very good. And you want to make an example of somebody, he might find himself in a lengthy suspension, let alone year suspension. I just want to get your thoughts on that. When something's not a hockey play and it's really dirty, and the younger players, where do you draw the line in terms of class sportsmanship and suspensions? I want to just get your thoughts. Leave some comments at John Reinott. You can look at it on the OHL. It's all over social media. Let's get into some other scores here. So the Shadows still lead. Let me get a reload here on the phone side. It was a 10-2 lead for the Shadow over the 45ers. So 12-2 is the official line. The Kings still have the lead in their game over the Warhawks. My last check was 9-1. I believe that one just went final. Kings did get that win. The Voyagers, as we said, won 25-1 over the Wendigo. Again, as I mentioned before in the previous intermission, they did score, so there is a bonus there for them. Let me look really quickly in this NHL scoreboard today. Penguins shut out Predators in Global Series finale. That's what I was looking for yesterday and realized that they played today. I think that was a 9:30 puck drop. I believe they are in Stockholm, Sweden, or somewhere in Sweden. Penguins won 4-0. That was the early game. And the next closest we have is at 5 o'clock between the Canucks and Lightning, Golden Knights, Wild, Islanders, Avalanche, and then the Wings pop the back-to-back. I was disappointed the other day against the Buffalo Sabres. They had a 4-1 lead and lost 5-4. Red Wings are 10-7-1. Rangers are 10-7-2. But the thing for the Rangers, they're at MSG. They might have their second win now. I'm going to try to pull this up very quickly for the Rangers and then get into this play-by-play because I really want to drive this point home. For a team that doesn't have a ton of wins on the year at home, they are 1-6-1, but they're 9-1-1 away from MSG. Never seen those kind of splits. So let's get back into this play-by-play. Theo Goody has got it now and off the drop. When we get in toward the end of the third, I will give you the schedule reset for the Sharks and what we have coming next. Well, I did reach out with Frank. We're going to get some of those Shadow rosters recorrected as well. I'll send him the master sheet that I have so everyone else is all squared away because I end up making my own across from week to week. Vanderhoven. This gets taken away from him as Goody sends it across. Spencer Bowman's pass gets picked off, and Riley, that pass way too hard. That just seemed like a complete miscalculation. Riley going to try to go ahead and get the own pass off the bumper. Here's a spin and turn. Pfeiffer eludes a hit. He's got the puck now. Jarrett, step through, work his way to the right side dot, and get canceled off. As this will be recollected and off the backhand. Good stick lift here for the moment, and a good one-on-one battle here is Alex Sharp, able to cancel off an opportunity that Ian Morton didn't have to save. Here's a reach out. At 18:35 of this third, Sharks still up 7-2. Again, they were leading 3-0 after one. It's been a well-played game so far. St. Ignace, though, in danger of losing 3 straight games. They were hybrid offside there. Nick Gordon got to go back to check up as Prober flip it back down across 150 feet. Rolling vulcanized rubber, be slowed back down just to McComas on the prowl, and Bennett Bailing will flip this one down. I always love to have the names on the back end of the jerseys for the everyday starters here for St. Ignace. It always makes it a broadcaster's dream. And those jerseys are very clean. Cole Helgamo as this one gets knocked in between a couple of skate blades. Be flipped back down for Jeremy here. Hyphenate man able to send this one the other way off the cross pass. Well, we'll start again as it's knocked away. Schmidigal throws it up in the air, and someone almost falls into the bench. Here is McComas with a ripper. Got some air underneath that one. And Rouliard able to hold on to it. Still just double checking on the 4 eyes to see if I got a number 30 on that sheet. And we still do. Ian Morton still on the other end. This will be a face-off loss for the Sharks. George Holt be the last guy back. This will be a cross pass. Gets deflected away from Brayson Pine. Now to the right side boards. Good leave there. Brent Dufour trying to make a combination play. And Ian Morton, that was probably his best stop of the game so far. Dufour going to take this draw here for the Saints. Plenty of time if they can get a couple here within the next 5-6 minutes or so. Gregorich almost had an easy break. If that puck would have just went over the skate blade, one-timer high. Good opportunity there for St. Ignace, but missed the net. Gregorich, good look there for a retrieval. Got Shaheen. He's burdened on the back end. Good save, Rouliard. And we got a player crashing into the goal crease. Hopefully the bowling pins are okay down there. That's Mike Romano. He looks no worse for wear. Josh Hill gets set to take this draw. He wins it clean, straight back. Sharks start with possession. They got it right at the goal mouth. As Christensen able to help get it out. And now we'll push the other way. Kapezawat. And off the leave. That one's a little bit too far off the back skate. I think it bounced off of Morton and then slap passed in deep. Here is a break opportunity for Hill. Lost an edge for a moment, still with it. Oh, what a save, Rouliard, as he stretches out. That's a robbery. Josh Hill, though, good stick-to-itiveness to be able to get back to his feet and make a play, forehand, backhand. Those other players would have lost the handle completely, but not Josh. That's good work. A little bit of a delay here, I think, of maybe where they want the draw. That's what we were waiting on. .16:23 in the third. Sharks looking to take the first 4 points in this back-to-back of this 5-game homestand. Here's a breakaway opportunity. This is lifted right into the trapper. Kapezawat with a good ripper there, but he didn't make Morton move. It's a good-sized crowd on hand. I think we're going to get a little bit more here next week, admittedly, in the 5:30 puck drop against the Muskegon Voyagers. That got sailed very wide with Pella bailing. And offsides are the Sharks. They can't touch. We have free play essentially here. Brown off the spin and turn for Theo Goody. Just immediately notice his strides that he's got. Just the lead speed and skating ability. Good touch pass. Try to leave here for Theo right in off the rush, but that gets canceled off. Baldrica had it for a moment. There's a good shove away. And now Polosha off the drop pass for Spencer. That one goes wide. Theo Goody off the step up. Knocked that away from Esposito into the right side dot. Sharks very patient when they got the puck in the offensive end in this game so far. That's what you love to see. Kieran Carlisle on the back check. We'll start again. Almost 5 minutes expired in the third. Runner with you. And the call in the red rink from the Go Live Sportscast. Bowman again. Just shovel it into an empty area. Kieran Carlisle almost lost an edge. Gets back to his feet. Throws it here for Nolan Baldrika. Able to step through. And off the drop pass here, Sharks. This one hits the glass. Theo Goody slows it down. There's a flutterer toward the net. Kieran Carlisle trying to lift. All over the ice. Snow Angel really hard. Makes the save. And this will get flipped back down. Morton will push it in the corner. And he's got to make his own save here off the rebound opportunity. Be flipped back down from 35. That's not on the score sheet for me, as they've had some adjustments. Didn't think everybody was going to be able to make the trip from back up north to down south, as we get from the MIHL North and South First Divisions. First time this year, as we get up to 8 teams. 7-2 still your score line. This will be sent at the net. Rouliard able to cancel it off with the left pad. And the Sharks now near the left dot. Jake Prober. He's lurking. And he's watching the back end side for Mancuso as this one gets flipped back down. And Sharks will take this one D to D. Do so safely. That pass bounces off of George Holt. Brayson Pine trying to get a stick in the lane. And this will be off the drop pass. Here is a cancel for Holt. Slap pass. That one goes wide. Probert throws it into the corner. Good hit, Alex Sharp. He's getting physical. Didn't get much after. They got a little bit of a complimentary cross check. Jake work his way as Brayson Pine trying to turn on the burners. St. Ignace forces a steal. And this goes back and alongside for Christopher Martin, who's found himself on the score sheet in this game. He's been good this year so far for the Sharks, but every addition that they've made has. Here's a lift. Here in a nice skate through. Jarrett Pfeiffer is trying to get busy there toward that right side blue line. On the backhand, this will be cleared in a little bit too far for Cagarise. That's where they wanted to go to, but one's going to hold on to it as this time is starting to bleed away. If St. Ignace is going to get back into this, they need to get one, I would say. I always kind of put that stamp marker that you throw across the bullseye inside the 10-minute mark. They got to at least get it to 7-3 and then go into between 3 or 2 minute segments here at this point because they're starting to run out of time. Helgamo bounces off his skates and he'll just shovel it in deep in the corner. Sharks still got work to do in their own end here. And off the lift, Pallet Bailing will throw this one down the ice. That's where George is. Try to take this one on the left side, looking for that long breakout a la Victor Hedman. Good move here for Zach Mulkowski. Zach, excellent work on the backhand. Try to go end to end, and he almost did, if not for the great save for Rouliard. I know his mom is in the building today. I can just look across to the right side of my sight line. She's gotta love that from her son going end to end. 12:23, an ozone draw to the left dot. Zach will get set to take it. And off the drop, looking for Cole Helgamo. This is a little bit too far for Chris Seeley. Flip back down now for George. Good outstretched pass combination, looking for Cole off the touch from Zach. And this gets sent in. Chris Seeley finishes his hit as Christensen will spin and turn. He's got one of the goals for St. Ignace. And off the drop leave, Sharks. No problems in their own end. St. Ignace not really attacking. They were in the midst of a change. McComas looking for a breakout. Able to get through the stick. Here's off the drop now. And the Sharks had a perfect line change there. They were just all back. Offsides is the call. Two players got tied up near the right side blue line. Maybe even more than that. There'd be too many men on the ice. because I didn't see any other call there from the Zebras. Might be what we got. Who's going to serve it is my question. Referees are communicating here, but 2 minutes on the board here against St. Ignace from what I'm seeing with the 4 eyes. So Grego's set on the right dot. He got Josh Hill with him, Theo Goody, also out there on the power play side. This would be power play numero uno line, essentially. Aaron Shaheen will crisscross on the left side wing. And the overhand turn that Grego's so good at starts with puck possession. Spencer Bowman try to cut it off and keep it on the outside at least before the Sharks can start again. They're already 1 for 2 on the power play here, and Grego looked like a little miscommunication on that pass. You could see the grimace in his face. You don't see that very often from Alex, as he was trying to break down across the left wing side. There'll be a spin and turn. That's where Theo is, off the leave. That's now for Josh Hill. Hill. He gets taken down and toward the right side. Sharks still with it and behind the cage, Rouliard. Take it to the right side, red line. Here's the back pass. Here for Spencer Bowman. Combination feed touch pass out of the air. Goody sends it toward the net. It's deflected, and this is in behind Rouliard. I looked at the Sharks bench for reaction just so I can get the confirmation. It's 8-2. It's their second power play goal of the game. Looks like standard traffic in front of the net and deposited home. I know I'll get the beneficiaries of the replay a little bit later today. Now, this is where I'm going to spend the majority of my time in the game story. We'll make the mention of the Wendigo score and probably throw out some of the highlights, but I'm not really going to break that down goal by goal because it just seems completely unnecessary. But this game is where we'll spend the time.
Goal scored by number 63, Alex Gregich, unassisted. Time of the goal, 10:35.
So Grego gets an unassisted goal from Zach to Alex. Always make you happy when you get a chance to hear that. 8-2 is now your score line as we're almost halfway through this third. Baldrica. This goes over his stick blade. Picked up now to the right side dot. See if the Sharks can walk in. Carlisle's pass. He's just trying to stick at it, brush it, curling style toward Rouliard. There's this Nick Gordon back in behind the net. Prober doesn't finish off his hit, but at least forces St. Ignace to retreat back in their own end. Polosha. So get lifted a couple more times and right back to the D. Start again here for the Sharks. Baldrica, cross pass. Good save there for Rouliard. That was a yawning cage. He was able to slide over to the bottom right part of the pad. Another one from the point, as this will get deflected. Sharks still with it. They've done this very, very well. This time they're not on a power play, I promise you that. But the patience that they've been able to show on the offensive end before they try to get the work done, they've done everything right in this game. And you put more credit into this more so than the 20-0 yesterday. Yeah, you talk about it, it looks good on your stats, but that was more of a scrimmage than anything else. I do think the Sharks, if they weren't at the top of their game, as that one saved from Rouliard at the point, probably could have conceded at least 3 more goals here, and this would have been a little bit closer scoreline, but as it is, Sharks up by 6. Here's a lead for Dustin Brown. He's going to need some help here as Holt pins him to the glass. And St. Ignace slowly get this pass ahead. They want to try to go left to right for the rest of this first period in the road whites and the mix of the gold and black striping. A little reverse of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies colors. Pala Bailing will watch this one go up and on a play. Being ozone draw for St. Ignace. Again, this is at a time where they got to score here within the next 40 seconds. It's gloved out of the air and then in. Gonzaga will be called. They got to have it now. They were able to get the first save for Morton, and then the rebound was not cleaned up. Jansen from the point and a rebound, and it's 8-3. Now it's got to be within the next minute here to get between 8-4, and then we can start to maybe talk about something. Sharks are not going to want to have any of that. They cross ice feed, and they'll flip the ice again here for Schmidegel. This is banked a little bit too far, and St. Ignace is not going to be able to change. They've iced it.
St. Ignace goal scored by number 66, Brent DeFore, assisted by number 7, CJ Schmidegel, and number 24, Grayson Payne. Time of the goal, 11:25 of the third period.
So it's going to be DeFore, Schmidegel, and Brayson Pine with the secondary assist. Again, I don't envy Zach as far as being able to call some of that out because the handwriting looks about as bad as mine, and I have cerebral palsy in the mix of sometimes of what they throw across. So not always looking so great sometimes be able to read it as DeFore. This one gets knocked away from him, and Zach Mulkowski went off the lead, and this will go back to Pala Bailing. Chance will be finished off with the right stick shaft of Ian Morton as we get about 7:40 left to go in this third. Here's a spin around here for Cody Rickley. Still trying to make something happen here. Sprague was one of the last men back. This will get sent in deep. And have to be quick about these line changes here and press. Outstretch. Here's McComas. Is this onside? Cole Hogamo off the bar and in. Cole gets it done. Say Cole Holgamo must have just been able to stay on side there for Justin McComas, or if not for the bucket in his hair to be able to stay on side at least. But beautiful goal there off the post and in past Rouliard makes it 9-3, and the Sharks are threatening for double digits yet again in 2 straight games. Pala Bailing. This gets knocked away, lost an edge, and at least for the Sharks, you know what? Happy there that Gregorich puts his hands up in the air. He wasn't going to brace. Didn't want to finish off anything dirty there. That's classy, although he might be going to the box. Not going to be happy with it, but it could have been a heck of a lot worse. And you don't want to see guys get intentionally hurt. So for the second time today, Grego is in the box. D-zone draw. This is kept in, and this is St. Ignace. They have to respond. Christensen leave it toward the right side. This pass gets deflected, but it's not out. Schmidegel plays it off the bumper. Shoots it wide. And this hits Morton, goes in behind the net. Good finish here Is Milkowski going to get a secondary? I'll throw that in there. Here is a short-handed chance. Rouliard says no. A couple chances there for Rouliard again. At the right side, cross-check will be called against Grego. Christensen blows a tire. Back to Theo. He just rips it beautifully down the ice. Always so calm, cool, and calculated, and has the ability to score. A staple for the Sharks back on that blue line. Find an entry now. Here is Leifer Mancuso. He's going to have to take a hit as he's worked in behind the cage, Vian Morton. Sharks flip back down the ice. And St. Ignace in their second power play. They're running on time here, 45 seconds. We're almost inside the final 5. Taking a little too long to get started here, but now they got to get in the zone. Kompezawat sends this one across. This over across the blue line. Look out! Little upend, and they didn't mean to do it off a knee-to-knee. Hopefully Mancuso's okay. This is right in front of the Sharks bench. Everybody, at least in the Sharks ends, popped up in okay, but that's how you blow a knee out. Oh boy. A little bit slow to get up. Hopefully just lost the feeling in his leg. Really wasn't anything to do that could avoid that, to be honest with you. He's making sure that he's putting some weight on it. It's got to be none at this point. Mancuso is going to get some help off the ice. Good class there from the Sharks. Able to get those stick taps. Really was no way to get the heck out of the way of that. So Sprague going to help his D-man to the bench. And we'll have to check on number 65 to make sure. Maybe he's probably going to be done for this game at least. But to make sure that he's skating off under his own power when we get off the air. And somebody unlinked the scoreboard. Sometimes they connect it with the blue rink, and that shuts us off. But we got about a 9-3 score line with about 5:33 left to go in this third, if I have my wits about me. Sharks lead at 9-3 over St. Ignace, 5:33. Looks like they got that all squared away. Sometimes that does happen. They link that up in a blue rink if they got some other games going across. That'd be insult to injury if they're giving Waterford a power play out of all this. You got to think the offsetting, right? I mean, really, I wouldn't even, if it's me, and again, I'm not the referees out there, and I can only see what I can see, and they got better sight lines than I do because you got 3 of them there. But it'd be kind of hard to call a penalty on either way, either offsetting or nothing at all. Because there really wasn't much besides happenstance to get out of the way of it. So as we get some commiseration at this 5:33 marker of the third, let me go ahead and give a belated birthday cheer. I know a couple birthday cheers, but belated to Bob Borner, Sarah Skrupski, and then today for Courtney Klobocki. I appreciate you guys. I know you're not listening in, but I wanted to make sure that I gave you the birthday shout-outs just in case I couldn't get to them yesterday. And then also as well, when we get a couple more minutes into this, I will give you the reset as far as what's left on our upcoming broadcasts. There's an opportunity off the break for Brown, and I think he might have missed the net. He was saying he probably got messed with a little bit from Alex Sharp. That's what he was signifying on the ice. And now the Saints aren't very happy as this goes back the D-line side. A little offsetting. And so now it's going to be a St. Ignace power play for about 90 seconds. Can't do that. They throw that one the length of the ice. Unless I'm miscounting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got 4 Saints. So yeah, Waterford power play. My apologies as Spencer Bowman's chance gets knocked up into the air. Milkowski got a piece of it for a moment. And this will be shoveled in deep. Zach gets the retrieval. And this will actually bounce to Rouliard. We'll get a stoppage, 4:37 in the third. So now's the time as any as we get a little bit of a line change. So our next broadcast on the air alongside Go Live Sportscast in the Red Rink will be at 5:30. It'll be an earlier start time as the Muskegon Voyagers come to town at Lakeland Arena. So that'll be November 22nd, Saturday at 5:30. And as it is, considering this result should hold here with 4:30 left in the third, it will be a battle for first place in the standings in the MIHL South. Again, Waterford lost that opener to Muskegon 5-2 at Lakeshore Sports Center. They're going to want to get their measure of revenge. As I always talked about, two teams that battle each other very well head-to-head. Yes, Muskegon has got the better of the two, all things considered, that their moniker is one for the thumb, trying to get 5 titles as a member of the MIHL standing top later. Sharks do have one for them off the memorable sweep a couple of seasons ago, but always fun to watch that, and hope you can be on the air next Saturday, 5:30 Eastern, and watch us alongside the Go Live Sportscast. George Holt. This goes off the right of the bumper, right to Rouliard, and a tap in. Sharks get another power play goal. This time at 3:58, they've hit the double-digit marker for back-to-back days. It's going to take me at least until the end of the regular season to not laugh at the Donald Trump drop for the Waterford Sharks. So I'm going to get through it, I promise, but that's always going to make me chuckle. So 10-3, 7-goal lead for Waterford here as we get set for closing time. Christensen lost the puck. Good pass for Prober. Sends this one Milkowski looking for a breakout lift. Good short side save for Rouliard.
Waterford Sharks goal scored by number 13, Nolan Balchuka, assisted by number 61.
So Polstra going to get an assist from Baldrika's goal. He's got one in each period. Here's a cross-ice pass that is blocked. McComas. This will get flipped back down the ice. Sharks look good in this game, and St. Ignace look good at this game at times. Really, I'm not going to say anything negative about them, considering not that I ever would anyway. But from the way it was played, it was such a good pace within the first 6 minutes. It was very entertaining. But the Sharks just have those ability to be able to wear you down. Just a McComas almost went through a phone booth there. That's kind of the way that it looked toward the end of it. Christensen off the rush. And it's a good game for Ian Moore. Not a ton of saves. A good chance to get some burn here in a full set of 60. McComas. This will be saved here of Rouliard. 2:38 left. Grego. This one won straight back. This time he didn't elect for the forehand turn. And the second opportunity, good stop there for Rouliard. Got Aaron Shaheen toward the right side. Backdoor pass. Good stick in the lane. Denies a goal there. Excellent work for Dustin Brown. Right at the net again, and this is going to force a hold for Rouliard. Dustin Brown easily saved a goal in that last 15 seconds. So a total of 13 goals in this game, but the game that we got next week has probably cut those in half. What a backdoor feed, but that one goes wide. Josh Hill on the prowl. He'll turn around as Esposito takes a hit. St. Ignace trying to get out of their own end right now off a spin and turn. Here's CJ. Cross ice bounce off a couple skates. Sharks are there to intercept. And this is Chris Seeley. Chip it off the glass nicely. Try to look ahead for Shaheen. It's good to see original teammates. They're not that they've always haven't been anyway, but Shaheen and Seeley on the ice. Here's a flip pass for Brown. kind of been everywhere. Good cross ice feed there from Esposito and Brown. Combination play. Good stop there for Morton. Shaheen working his way to the right side. He just turns one right on. Bowman with a clapper. That misses everything, goes high. As we are down to the final 70 seconds thereabouts. John Under with you on the call. It's been a good weekend for Waterford. Want to close this out strong. Oh, what a hit! Theo Goody! My goodness! Nick Gordon, he got knocked down hard. Thankfully, he popped back up. A little more reverse than anything else, but a little stand up here for Theo. So skating, little offensive defensive play. Finish that off very strong. This will be flipped back toward the left side blue line. Just kept in. Yeah, as George Holt pins his man to the glass, and Goody will send this one safely back. Alex Sharp protecting just in case. Sharks have a 10-3 lead as we're getting closer to skating toward our final. Good reverse. Sharks able to get it out of the zone, and maybe a couple more rushers for St. Ignace, but that's it and that's all at this point. They're going to take their third straight loss after opening the season 3-0. That is not what you want to have in the MIHL North, as the Alpena 45ers sit as the second seed. Kalkaska they already picked up another win. I believe that they're going to be 5-1 when it's all said and done. Sharks will improve to 4-2. 6-1, I should say, at least for them, because Sharks and Shadow have a game to make up. That's going to be your final. The Waterford Sharks take both games off the back-to-back, both 4 points. They win a 10-3 over the St. Ignace Saints. A couple power play goals to tell you about in this third period. But again, the stern reminder is the Sharks get a convincing win. Do not miss any of the next upcoming games, but just a singular game next Saturday. With the Go Live Sportscast, I'm your broadcast man, John Ott, reminding you Saturday, November 22nd at 5:30, a little bit of little Eastern start, a little bit early start. It's going to be against the Muskegon Voyagers. The Sharks again improved to 4-1. Muskegon has an extra win in hand, so they're at 5-1. If they can get to a second loss, that would put the Sharks in first place. So it'll be a battle for first place tomorrow, battle for first place Saturday, as I'm all over myself, November 22nd against Muskegon at 5:30. Don't miss it. Sharks win 10-3. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.